The alarming images coming in from Ukraine this evening, Russia holding so-called referendums now in parts of eastern Ukraine, all part of Vladimir Putin's efforts to annex parts of Ukraine. In fact, there are now pro-Russian soldiers with assault rifles going door to door collecting ballots. In fact, security cameras capturing images of these soldiers escorting election officials, collecting those ballots from Ukrainians. The U.S. has been calling these elections a sham. While in Russia tonight, the mass exodus of men trying to avoid Vladimir Putin's new draft. Long lines of cars at the Finnish border tonight. ABC's Tom Burridge inside Ukraine for us again tonight.
Tonight, Kremlin-style door-to-door voting. Soldiers armed with assault rifles escorting voting officials with ballot boxes in their hands. Ukrainian officials posting these videos showing what the US calls sham referendums in Russian-occupied Ukraine. With Vladimir Putin planning to declare those regions part of Russia, the White House warning it will respond.
We are prepared to impose additional swift and severe economic costs on Russia.
Moscow threatening any attack on newly annexed regions would be considered an attack on Russia. A US official today confirming to ABC News the US has been sending private warnings to Moscow about the consequences of any use of nuclear weapons.
Vladimir Putin took a massive gamble when he invaded Ukraine, wrecking large parts of this country. But by bringing in a military draft in Russia, he is upping the stakes again.
With the new draft in motion, Russians rushing for the exit. Traffic jammed at the Russian border with Finland. The mere idea of being drafted causing panic. And emotional scenes with Russians hugging and kissing their newly drafted loved ones goodbye. Ruslan, an IT specialist, paying $1,700 for a one-way ticket out. The flight usually costing $250. And tonight, a UN-appointed panel issuing a damning statement concluding Russia has committed war crimes in Ukraine, with victims as young as 4.
We were struck by the large number of executions in the areas that we visited.
Our team witnessing a mass burial site and evidence of alleged Russian atrocities in newly liberated Izium. Officials now saying they've exhumed 436 bodies, including children, most suffering violent deaths. Ludmila's husband among those buried here.
She says so many people have died. Too many people, she says. I'm sorry.
And tonight, 2 US military veterans who fought for Ukraine and were captured and held by Russian forces for months, now freed in a prisoner swap. Back in the US, speaking out for the first time.
We're looking forward to spending time with family, and we'll be in touch with the media soon. So, yeah, good, happy to be home.
Let's bring in Tom Burridge. He's in Kharkiv again tonight. Tom, I want to go back to those scenes you showed us, and they are something. Pro-Russian soldiers armed with assault rifles going door to door in parts of eastern Ukraine, collecting ballots in this so-called referendum called for by Putin tonight.
Yeah, David, these bizarre scenes of election officials accompanied by soldiers going to people's homes could play out over the next 5 days when so-called voting is taking place. One Ukrainian official saying Russian soldiers are effectively using the barrel of their gun to show people where to put their tick. President Biden saying the US will never recognize that territory as being anything other than Ukraine. David?
That's just extraordinary. Tom Burridge all week long. We appreciate it.